without further ado, let me continue with the next session that is about to start and introduce you the host of it, Libor Hoření from JIC. Please join me in welcoming him on stage.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Startup Spotlight Contest. We are excited to show you some young, great entrepreneurs who are from Brno region. These companies were picked by us at JIC, also from Impact Hub and from Czech Invest, because we see a huge potential in those companies and we want to share it with you. And because it is a contest, please try to remember which one you like the most, because after the last presentation, you will see the QR code and you can vote. You will have a chance to make one of those speakers a winner. So after the last talk, you will have the chance to vote for those who you like the most. So that's it. Let's get ready for some cool ideas and stories. And the Startup Spotlight is starting right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our first speaker, who is making the trees and nature more beautiful for us. It's Ondřej Kolařík from Arbo Technologies.
So as you probably noticed, global temperatures are rising rapidly, and adult trees are actually one of very few tools we have to combat our overheating streets. That's because they are short-term decreasing temperature, and long-term they can absorb CO2. But not all the trees works the same. To replace one adult tree's cooling effect in the same year, you cannot plant just 3 or 5 trees. You would need to plant more than 1,400. So the difference is quite big. And in terms of CO2, we have to realize that planting a tree in a city has its own carbon footprint. And based on this study, it takes 30 to 40 years until the tree gets to 0. And when you combine it with a data point that average age of trees in cities is just 7 to 30 years, you will quickly realize that we cannot just plant our way out of this problem, even though it's very important, and that we have to do more to ensure that the trees stay safe and healthy for as long as possible. So that's what we do in Arbo Technologies, where our mission is to maximize tree benefits in cities and landscape with new technologies. And we do this by combining urban tree care and new technologies. We currently have 2 products. First of them can prevent up to 1/3 of adult tree cutting, which also means cost savings for the city, while increasing safety and while up to tripling profit for the tree care expert who is our customer. It is based on a mobile app and it's pure SaaS, so the expert pays per use up to 80 euros per calculation. And we are currently piloting it commercially in 9 countries around Europe and in United States. Our second product you can think of as Google Maps for trees. It's this hardware that enables to automatize tree data collection. And we are able in just 3 days collect the same amount of data that would be manually collected for 2 months. We piloted this on almost 6,000 kilometers, which is around 2 million trees here in Czech Republic, and looking to expand to Poland next year. But I think most interesting about us is how the company is structured, because we are positioning ourselves to collect all the data about the trees, which is how we differ from our competition. And it really is more data, more trees saved. And we are positioning ourselves to be on the forefront of AI revolution in our small industry. Speaking of our industry, I think most of you don't often think about of who takes care of trees in your city, but it's still $20 to $30 billion industry worldwide. And even though technologies are quite small slice right now, it's quickly growing because it's cutting into the both consultation and practical urban tree care. We already raised from VC. Right now we are raising 1 million seed round to expand around Europe, and next year round to expand to US. It's able with our great team. We have several PhDs in urban tree care, quite strong technological team, and we also employ up to 30 people during the summer to process our data. So yeah, that's it. We are raising right now, so if there is some investors, let's talk and let's build a greener future together, one tree at a time. Thank you.
Thank you, Ondřej. And now, everyone, let's get ready for some stretching. But don't worry, I don't mean the physical kind. I'm talking about the mobile app that makes stretching fun and easy. From Visioncraft AI, Petra Budíková.
So hello, everybody. We are Visioncraft, and our mission is to make your body healthy, even after sitting the whole day at the conference. Let me show these three guys. Which of them is you? While I wish you all to feel fit and strong, like the tiger on the left, statistically, about a third of us has some type of problems with their body movement caused by lifestyle, age, or injury. And if we don't want to end up like the sad guy on the right, we should be doing something about it. In an ideal world, if you have some movement issues, you immediately find a therapist, go for a treatment, and follow all the advice you get, which typically includes regular home exercising. After a couple more visits, you will feel fit again. The reality is unfortunately different. You don't visit the therapist immediately because the waiting times are in weeks. When you finally get an appointment, you receive that much information and homework that you immediately forget half of it. So you don't exercise much, and the recovery is slow. So, can we do something about this? The physiotherapy solution is to increase the efficiency of home exercising using computer vision and AI algorithms that will monitor, guide, and motivate the patient. The treatment with physiotherapy starts again in the therapist's office, where the therapist examines the patient, recommends exercising, and teaches the patient how to exercise correctly. And this is recorded by the physiotherapy software that creates correct motion patterns for this particular patient. Then during home exercising, the motion patterns are used to supervise the patient. And if incorrect exercising is detected, the patient is immediately alerted using visual and sound signals. The software also provides motivation for the patient and reports for the therapist. Physiotherapy comes as a mobile application and requires no additional hardware. All the image processing is done on the edge device, so the patient's privacy is protected. The software provides interfaces for both the patients and the therapists. Patients get support for home exercising, which allows them to recover rapidly. And the therapists get better control over the whole rehabilitation process, which allows them to serve more patients. The principal distinction between physiotherapy and its competition is the use of individualized motion patterns. So while the other applications assume that everybody can exercise like a tiger, physiotherapy takes into account the abilities and limitations of each individual. So a horse will be given a different feedback than a tiger. Our business model assumes cooperation with the therapists, who will recommend the application to their patients. If 20% of US market use physiotherapy, the estimated revenue is more than $1 billion per year. The Visioncraft company has a strong background in detection and analysis of moving objects. In 2022, we started to focus on human motion processing, and we soon established cooperation with a research team from the Masaryk University. Together, we obtained the Touch a Trend grant for the development of physiotherapy algorithms. We are now intensively working on the development and plan to introduce the product on the market next year. The physiotherapy idea has received very positive reactions from the healthcare community. We have a number of therapists involved in the product design and several future customers. The project is backed by an experienced and enthusiastic team, as well as the researchers from the Masaryk University. To learn more about physiotherapy, don't hesitate to visit our web pages or to contact me. We welcome investors, but also anybody interested in cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you. I must tell you something. I hate reporting, but every single week I have to report something and I hate it. So I'm really glad that this year is the last one I'm doing that manually. So please welcome on the stage the future where robots work for us and we can focus on something more enjoyable. From Aiviro, Filip, Unzeitig.
Thank you. My name is Filip Unzeitig. I'm one of the founders of Aiviro, and I'm in charge of business development and implementation. Our vision is to get rid of the routine work on computer. We automate using our unique AI solution. What is the current situation? I'm sure everybody knows it. You have tedious work, you have some reports, you have some documents you have to copy, you have some Excel sheets you have to fill in, you have to copy information from one software to another. I'm sure everybody has it as a part of their work. So most of the companies, they use a combination of old ERP systems, new cloud-based applications. Some of the processes are defined, some not. And also on the Czech market, the big situation is a shortage of employees. What is our solution? Our solution is easy automation of routine office work. We use a unique visual assistant, which can easily work with any software that you are using at your company, and we can easily automate any tasks that are routine, repetitive, every day, or as reporting every week or every month. The market for automation is huge, and it's growing globally at least 30%, 35% year on year. So the potential for commercialization is tremendous. What are our current already achievements? Aiviro Robot is active already at 25 companies, doing 78 different tasks, and we already saved this year 14,000 hours of routine work. We are focusing on small and medium businesses, mostly in Czech Republic, but we plan to expand soon. We are also talking now with some government institution, regionals, so we also plan to expand beyond commercial sector. This is a use case from one of our clients, which is where the robot is already helping across accounting department, sales, and manufacturing, and is saving already 12 hours of routine work every day. What is our business model? We would like to, Aiviro, we would like to focus mainly on product development and receive our income from monthly fees for the work of the robot. And we work in Czech Republic, also abroad. We work with partners who help us commercialize the product and also do the implementation at the clients. What is our strategy and to the future? We are now finishing development of our editor, which is a very easy user interface where you can automate your task. You just click through it. You don't need to. You just need to have the knowledge of the task that you want to repeat, and so you just automate it. The robot learns it, and they can repeat it right away. Next year, we want to scale and we want to expand abroad. We are also developing our platform where it will be very easy to see and manage your robot at your company. Our finances, second year, we grew 400%, but also, of course, it's very easy to grow from nothing. But we plan to grow at least 200% each year. Our competition is classic ERP systems, or also some more single-purpose solutions for like document extraction. We are looking for investors. We just secured angel investor this summer, but we are looking for more investors for our expansion across Europe and Northern America. Thank you.
Thank you. We all spend a whole third of our lives in one place. And that place is our bed. But it's not always easy to get a great sleep. So please welcome Pavel Tomíček from Somnial.
Thank you. My name is Pavel Tomíček, and I am one of the engineers that are working with Somnial to create a new treatment for sleep apnea. But it's not just Somnial. We are cooperating with local research institutes such as FNUSA, ICRC, and Unzeitig, because this isn't a one-man job. What is sleep apnea? Sleep apnea is a sleep disorder that basically causes you to choke during the night. It might seem like it's some rare disease, but it's actually very common. Roughly 1 billion people worldwide have it, and 80% of them are undiagnosed. In Europe and US, it is roughly 170 million. The implications of sleep apnea are not just bad sleep. It can even lead to diabetes, heart attack. Sleep apnea is traditionally treated with CPAP machines, which are effective, but also very uncomfortable, as you can imagine. The newest treatment option is an implantable stimulator called Inspire, which its main drawback is that you need a surgery to get it. Our option combines the best of these two worlds and is non-invasive, effective, and comfortable. Right now, we have done clinical trials that showed that our technology works. We have developed a prototype stimulator that also works in men and in women. And we are looking to push this technology further and refine our stimulator to create a device, app, and a portal that will optimize the treatment for everyone. As you can see, there are many different options for treating sleep apnea, not just the CPAP and the implantable stimulators. None of them are as effective or as comfortable as our device. The technology is created by Somnial, FNUSA, and Unzeitig collaboration, which is led by Dr. Adam Williamson. He managed to bring a €2 million consolidating grant to Brno, and we have more than $4 million under grants under review. We have several patents, and we even achieved FDA device breakthrough designation for our device. I am one of the engineers working at developing the prototypes and the devices. I have to say that the cooperation between researchers, developers, and clinicians is outstanding. Every day you do something new and you push the science and create state-of-the-art devices. We also offer opportunities to students and young professionals that are able to participate in state-of-the-art research and device development. Of course, most of us are either somehow in the academic sphere, so we regularly go to training. For now, we are training for MDR regulation. But it's not just the two of us. The Somnial team is spread across many countries and consists of a lot of people, from engineers to researchers, postdocs, and experienced business leaders, as is my colleague William Haynes, who is also here. Our plan is to have a working device that is ready for commercialization in the middle of year 2025. Most of the problems we face right now is with the bureaucracy concerning medical device development. And if there are any consultants with that, please reach out to us. We are looking for any sort of help, investors, partners, everyone who thinks they could benefit us and we could benefit them. Thank you.
So right now, we will see the literal game changer. Because at Kikiriki Games, they are creating something with no barriers and connecting people in the most fun way possible with their games. From Kikiriki Games, Jana Kuklová.
Hello, my name is Jana Kuklová, and I am co-founder of barrier-free game studio Kikiriki Games, which I would like to introduce you today. We founded Kikiriki Games together with my husband Miloš in autumn of 2021, and we are focusing on inclusive mobile games. Our motivation was my own experience. When I was a child, I loved playing computer games, but due to of lost my sight, I had to give up of this activity. But I still wanted to play some good video game. And I noticed that other blind people around me have same wish as me. But finding an accessible video game is a big challenge. Currently, there is over 1 million mobile games in Apple App Store, but 99.98% of them are completely inaccessible for blind. But there are 280 million people in the world which have serious visual problems, and it is nearly 5% of global population. But we at Kikiriki Games don't want to develop mobile games which are only for blind and which will continue to lock them in their own players' communities. In the contrary, we want to develop mobile games which will connect people and which will break down barriers between them. And in fact, our survey among blind people shows that blind people don't want to play mobile games which are only for them, but they wish to be able to play same video games which play sighted people around them. And it is why we at Kikiriki Games develop mobile games which are equally fair and fun for all players. Our team, within 2 years, our team grew to 6 members, and we developed and released 2 mobile games. Last May, we released audio mobile game To the Dragon Cave. It is an audio shooter which received great media coverage, and thanks to its unconventional gameplay, this game was nominated for International Pocket Gamer Award in the most innovative mobile game category. This August, we released the audio mobile game Brave Brain. When we were developing this game, we focused on principles of inclusive design. Thanks to this approach, the game is fully accessible for blind, but sighted players don't recognize that the game is accessible, and the accessibility of the game don't limit them in any way. This game is based on freemium model where we earn revenue from microtransactions and ads view. Now, we have thousands of downloads, but to make the game profitable, we need to increase the number of players by 2 orders of magnitude. Although the game is spreading well in the community of blind players, we need to reach out to sighted mobile game players. And it is why now we are focusing on promotion and online advertisement campaign. So if you are interested in our studio and you would like to help us with this campaign or spreading word about Brave Brain, please don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, we all remember school, those beautiful moments full of fun and engaging education while we were sitting in a classroom, right? No, wait a second, it wasn't quite like that. So, please welcome Dominik Ševčík from Eduvision, who is taking learning outside. Dominik Ševčík.
Thank you for the introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, this presentation is probably not going to be a very typical one. My main purpose here is mainly to express our gratitude to all who have supported our project and to thank all of you for being here. Now let me share our journey with you. 2 years ago, we have started a project aimed at enhancing outdoor education. The project is called Archimedes, the Outdoor Education Center. It's the result of our commitment to improving learning experiences at school. The first realization took place this year in March in Hodonín, and the whole project became a reality because thanks to the support of the South Moravian region and especially its governor, Mr. Jan Grolich. So we are really thankful for their support. The Archimedes classroom is, it offers a new environment for students. It supports the teaching of natural sciences. It also it supports the natural sciences. It implements the new technologies, and because of these new technologies, it's prepared for international collaboration. The Archimedes classroom can also be used as a summer cinema or as a place for community meetings or a place for summer camps. All of these classrooms are not only connected physically, but also virtually with a web portal. This web portal is a place for connection, a place where you can share your teaching aids and many more. With the portal, we aim to create a network of classrooms which will connect students all around the world and allow them to work on international projects. The most interesting part of the portal are these interactive lectures from a variety of experts, such as a manufacturer of Ferrari, a manufacturer of pianos from Petra, or for me personally, it's the connection to the International Space Station. The students will be allowed to ask questions and interact with these experts, all while sitting inside of our outdoor classroom. All of this was also possible thanks to our ambassadors involving Mrs. Eva Pavlova, the wife of President of the Czech Republic. In this year, we have successfully completed the construction of 3 outdoor Archimedes centers, and we are preparing many more for the next year. To be more specific, we are planning to build approximately 35 classrooms next year here in Czech Republic and Slovakia, and we are aiming to build up to 1,000 classrooms in the next 7 years. Thank you once again for your time, and if this project resonates with you, please help us bring Archimedes to your cities and to your schools. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. And over the last century, we have added about 30 years into our lives thanks to medical innovators. And one of them is today here with us. So please welcome Rob Chisholm from Noveeda.
Hi, it's great to be with you here today. I'm from Noveeda. We're developing needle-free drugs for diabetic patients. Noveeda is very recently established. Its sister company, Reform Therapeutics, is based at GIC here in Brno. So diabetes is a massive problem. It's a mega trend. Just have a look at how many patients are going to be suffering in 2045. There's already 540 million today, and that will increase by more than 250 million in 2045. Now, you may not be diabetic, but you're taxpayers. And diabetes, just in the US alone, cost $400 million last year. 300 million of that is direct medical costs. But the bit that Noveeda is interested in is the 100 billion spent on diabetes drugs. Now, one of the big diabetes drugs that's used today, you may have heard of it, Ozempic, Wegovy. Everyone wants it to try and get rid of their fat bellies. But a number of patients can't tolerate it. And those that stopped it, 11,000 were asked across 5 European countries and the US. Now, 40% said they don't like injections, they prefer oral drugs. They also said injections were painful, they were too inconvenient because they need to be taken regularly, they were too costly, and they didn't like the needle size. The other thing was, once the needle was injected, it caused a reaction at the needle site. So diabetic patients don't like needles. And the other thing, for GLP-1s, 20 to 50% of patients stop taking the medicine before 6 months. And that's a massive issue for healthcare. So let's take the needle out of diabetes drugs where we can make more convenient formulations. So Noveeda will target 4 indications. And look, I'm not that interested in the Czech diabetes market. I'm interested in the US diabetes market. Globally, the diabetes market is 150 billion, but a massive part of that is in the US. We already saw that statistic of 100 billion. So glucose control is our major focus. And then weight loss. This is a massively growing market. You can see 760 million people are obese, but only 2% receive treatment. And the market for GLP-1s in weight loss is exploding at the moment. The drug companies can't make enough. But as we've seen, not every patient can tolerate the injectables. So they also need alternative formulations. Now, gastroparesis is a condition that diabetics often suffer from, where they can't empty the stomach. The bowel is too slow. There's only one product approved in the US. It's called metoclopramide. And we would like to develop another drug, not a tablet, an intranasal form, to target that market in the US. And then glucagon, it's used in emergency situations where diabetics have low blood sugar levels, they faint, and they can't eat a chocolate bar, so they need an injection. We're going to make an intranasal version of that. So here, you can see what the sublingual version looks like. It pops under the tongue, and this is the device that we plan to use from Recipharm. So this is the team. And what we've got here is the kind of old guys on this side, like me, who've been in the industry maybe 25 years. And we're combining it with the young Brno brains at the Vet Institute here in Medlanky. We've also got external partnerships with a Boston biotech company who has their own high-throughput technology, and Recipharm, as I mentioned, for the intranasal device. So we will focus on product development, technical operations, and we will out-license for sales. That's how we'll make money. But we do this very efficiently in Brno. The formulation work, the preclinical studies, and the proof of concept, 400 to 700 million. We want you to put your wealth into health. And we're raising 1.6 million to develop 4 needle-free diabetes drugs. Thank you.
Thank you very much. In the South Moravian Innovation Center, our mission is to support entrepreneurs and companies with global ambitions. But going global is a huge step, and it's not easy at all. So I'm really glad that today we have here someone who is making it much easier. Please welcome Daniel Charvát from Localazy.
What do mobile banking apps, Tour de France, and plastic litter in the Pacific Ocean have all in common? The answer is Localazy, and I'll explain why in a moment. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Daniel Charvát, and allow me to take you on this short localization journey. So first of all, what is Localazy? We help international businesses, startups, and non-profit organizations to overcome language barriers and reach more people by utilizing our automated localization platform. Bringing in more customers or spreading positive impact is much easier when your target audience understands what you have to say. Sorry. And I would say we're doing quite well. With 310,000 active users in 16,000 localization projects, we've helped to deliver over 89 million of translations. And counting. At this point, you may be asking yourself, why bother? Isn't English version usually enough? Well, more than 75% of the global population doesn't speak any English at all. Probably everybody here speaks English, but globally, not really all of them. Okay, so localization is important, but it cannot be that difficult, can it? It can, and it is. Localization is time-consuming and requires a lot of manual work. It's also an ongoing process as your localized products and services evolve. And it involves many user roles with different knowledge and expertise. If you yourself ever had to translate a spreadsheet, website, or a mobile application, you probably know it's not easy, and the whole process can get quite messy. How can you solve these problems with our help? Easily integrate your project, automate most of the translation process, and stay in control the whole time. Combine various translation methods, invite your team or external contributors, and benefit from AI. And don't worry about translation delivery. Focus on what is important to you, your product, and your audience. And now to answer my question from the very beginning, your mobile banking app is probably available in multiple languages, and it's not unlikely that's also thanks to Localazy. Localazy is also loved by startups. Take Ruby, which allows you to ride the routes of Tour de France from the comfort of your living room. With the help of Localazy, they are bringing their virtual cycling experience to users from all over the world in 17 languages. And they even involve their own community to translate their products. And lastly, Plastic Bank, a global non-profit organization on a mission to clean our oceans from plastic, has multiplied its impact by bringing their mission closer to the people from Philippines and many other countries with the help of Localazy. Join these awesome companies, break language barriers, and speak your customers' language. And once this block concludes, let's talk about spreading your mission globally together. Thank you all for coming here, and I thank you all for your attention.
Thank you, Daniel. Artificial intelligence. Wow, it's a huge game changer in many industries with countless ways how to use it. And one great example will show us our last speaker in Startup Spotlight contest, and it is Johnny Darkwah from Kapnetix.
So, hello, ladies and gentlemen. So, Kapnetix is trying to change the way games are developed. Some of our favorite experiences from entertainment are thanks to the thousands of hours of hard work of talented creative individuals. Now, recreating this 1992 NBA final is a multidisciplinary task where you have to program, you have animation, you have visual lighting, and you also have things like motion capture. So it's a technically very daunting process. Now, many people don't know the gaming industry, right? So the market as a whole is about $188 billion, right? That's about half of this country's GDP. Now, what's maybe even more interesting that there's about $45 billion among public gaming companies, which is ready to be deployed for innovation and M&A. Now, the main challenge where game studios have right now is the increasing expectation and demands of gamers themselves, right? And this is driving game development budgets into astronomical spheres. So obviously, it makes sense that game studios will start to look for productivity gains in this space, right? And this is our story, how we got into this industry. So about 2 years ago, we started a project with one of the largest gaming publishers in the world. And the challenge was, can we automate some of that process? So in motion capture, which you saw the picture in before, typically the post-production can take much longer than the actual footage take. So our solution, we created an AR model that can take these 5 days and shorten it to only 10 minutes. This is a huge gain, and obviously there are more possibilities in that space as a whole. Now, more and more studios, as we've talked to over 120 companies, have been looking at AI as a resource for helping them out with their projects. Now, the challenge with this is that most of the best AI models in this space either remain on research papers or with a handful of companies who have spent large budgets on building AI teams. So what we're trying to do is decrease that gap. So that's why we created Kapnetix. So Kapnetix is really on a mission to, for these 3 million developers, just to make AI much more simpler for them, to democratize it, and ideally help them create the experiences we fall in love with. Now, one thing I'd like everyone today to remember, that we here, and especially thanks to this region, are in a very unique position. Now, I have been fortunate enough for the last 7 years to work with an amazing AI team. We've probably delivered more AI projects than any other company in this region. Secondly, we've created an AI platform which is ready for the game development industry. And it's been validated and tested on some of the biggest games. And finally, right at our doorstep, we have a vibrant, very smart gaming community with over 30 years of game development experience. So this is a really unique opportunity for the region, and I think we can make the most of it. Now, what's in it for you? So our primary goal now is onboarding customers, but we're opening our doors now to investors, partners, and people who would be interested in joining our vision to create here from Brno the way we're changing the way we develop games. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you. So awesome. So I would like to thank to all our speakers. It was very inspiring. So thank you for sharing your ideas with us. And now is the moment we are all waiting for. Now we will choose the best presentation. So please pick up your phones, scan this QR code, and share with us your opinion on which presentation was the best.